Andrew, one of the reasons why I think you're perfect for this podcast is you have a little bit of everything as far as investments. And I'm not going to get into that specifically, but you have a day job that you work. Mm-hmm. And with that, you have traditional retirement accounts.
Yeah.
And you've got other savings accounts and investment accounts that you do on the side. And you've got real estate. What is the process for somebody who's looking to maybe kind of duplicate what you're doing, mm-hmm. where they're not a full-time real estate investor, but they want to get into it and they want to add real estate as part of their portfolio? What would you foresee as the process that you eventually, will you hang on to these properties in retirement years to draw the income off them, or will you systematically sell them off as you need to fund that retirement income?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the fun thing. It will depend on the market. That's the beauty. I love the house because it's like, let's say we hit another 2008. What do I care? The rent's not going to go down. My property value might go down, but rents didn't go down, did they? No.
Right.
And even if they go down a little, you have a whole year to plan that out because you have these locked-in lease rates that the tenant is paying. So if my house lost half its value, it's not like the rent goes down by half its value. It stays the exact same. Okay? So I could collect. But let's say the market's high like it is right now. Oh my heck, I could sell all those properties and put my money into something else, like a beach house in the Bahamas, right?
There you go.
So I will just I have the luxury of doing whatever the market's doing to my advantage. So I do like that. And so I don't think about the future with my houses because I don't know my exit strategy at this moment. It will depend on the market. So what I would tell someone who is like how to prepare to get into what I do, you have two paths. You can either say, okay, I live in a house and I'm planning on moving. Consider keeping your current house as your first rental. You know that house so well. You know when something leaks, you already know how to fix it. You know where to tell the plumber to go do, or the electrician, or you kind of know all the ins and outs. Like each house is like a person. Like I know all the little ins and outs of these properties I own now over the years. Or the second thing is you need to create like a fund. Like Nate, you're starting to help me create a fund because a lot of my money's tied up, but I take a little bit of money every month and I put it into stocks and bonds that I can sell if needed to do something with, right? Mm-hmm. And you talked to me off the ledge the other day. I said, maybe we should close it out, and you said nope. And this is why I think having a team is so important, because you reminded me why I did it, because I'd forgotten for a second there, and I'm going to use that money eventually to buy another property because it's just sitting there, takes money out of my account every month. I don't even think about it. And then occasionally I'm like, oh yeah, I have money hidden away that Nate's working on for me. And then in 5 years, when my wife has our youngest in kindergarten, and she's like, okay, I have free time, what do we do? Guess what that's done for me for the last 5 years? It's grown, I'm ready. So I think that's the way to approach that, is you learn. If you don't want to buy and keep your current house like I did, if you want to just buy a rental property outright, you need to save for that. I mean, there's no other way to get to it. Maybe you guys have other thoughts.
No, I think your answer about when I asked you what you planned to do in retirement, and your answer was, I'm going to let the market dictate, tell me what I'm going to do. I look at, for somebody who is in retirement years with their investment portfolios, and that's the reason why they own stocks and bonds and gold and cash and real estate, is because when we need to withdraw that money, rather than being forced to sell something maybe at a bad time, you're not forced to do that. You're able to let the market come to you instead of you having to chase the market.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. I just feel like I have, again, I can't go back to enough to talk about the teams. I've always wanted to do real estate, but I had someone teach me in the beginning. It's actually the person that introduced me to you, Nate. It was Matt. And he talked about you create this moat around your property, because it's like, why would you work so hard just to have everything taken away from you? So we started with like the protection and the insurance, making sure I was covered there. Then we started to build the retirement vehicles. Then I like some whole life insurance because I want protection, because I had some life experience that said, I want that. So whole life insurance was important to me because I have kids to fend for because of some, and I saw some personal experiences where a family member died and they didn't have insurance, and I saw how hard that was. So I was fearful for me. Well, guess what? I don't fear that anymore because I have that set up. And then I was like, well, how do I keep growing? How do I protect my taxes? Okay, my houses. And it's like you just add layer upon layer, a little at a time. Like, I have a little bit everywhere. It's like the ultimate diversification. Doesn't matter what's happening. I've got something growing for me somehow.
Nate, what's that analogy you use where it touches on that, where you just get harder, or it's more and more difficult to take you down, basically? Don't you have an analogy like that that fits really well?
I don't know what the analogy is. I mean, I always, the way somebody like Andrew has it set up is, I always say, nobody is truly bulletproof, but we're about as bulletproof as we can get, because we have this diversification here and we have these layers of protection. And you have different way these assets are going to be taxed. We've got different ways these assets are going to grow. And I just think that the way it's set up, that it's about as healthy as a financial planning can get.